a mod that we use to practice for full game runs. We're having a little bit of problem with the audio, I believe. Let's see here. Very well. The audio is now correct. And there we have it. Anyway, our runners have started. We are currently seeing Melon coming up into the part where we do get the portal gun. As you can see, we've got a little bit of pullback going on in there. We see Xinera actually getting access to the portal gun, starting off the big skips of the run, getting a little bit of a lead.
You have trapped yourself. Congratulations.
Pulling off a wonderful, wonderful cube glitch there. They skip an entire section of that map.
If the enrichment center is currently being bombarded with fireballs, meteorites, or other objects from space, please avoid unsheltered
Very well,
testing
very good
areas
pace from
wherever
both
arrival
runners.
from space debris does
Almost
not appear to
neck
be
and neck.
well done. The enrichment center reminds you that although circumstances may appear bleak,
If the chat has any questions about some of the glitches that are going on right now in the run, feel free to ask.
applies the principles of momentum to movement through portals. If the laws of physics no longer apply in the future, if you are a non-employee who has discovered this facility,
Xinera having a wonderful, wonderful pace here.
and remember,
Absolutely beating the competition right now.
with you.
And there he has it. A little bit of trouble from Melon to activate the button glitch.
To ensure
But still doing a good pace here.
for core testing protocols, all safety devices have been disabled. The Enrichment Center respects your right to have questions or concerns about this policy.
Generally, in that area where Xinera just got through, we do a little glitch called the pancake shot. In this instance, we don't actually have to do that because the door is already open, so we can do what's called a half pancake. Simply portaling over to that area, having a little bit of trouble with the railing there. This section just pure B-hops. We're in the wake up part. In the full game, this is generally where we wake up GLaDOS. But, of course, in the speedrun mod, we took away all cutscenes. So we're just going to skip that entire bit. And just go straight to the incinerator. A wonderful start for incinerator.
Be careful. There it is. Once good, you have a dual portal device. There.
And amazing portal shots from Xinera. Almost no hesitation whatsoever. Melon not far behind, in fact. Not a bad pace from both runners.
Sorry about the mess. I've really let the place go since you killed me. Not bad. I forgot how good you are at this. You should pace yourself, though. This next test involves
Both runners
discouragement
practically
redirection
neck
cubes.
and
I
neck
just finished
at this
building
moment.
them
I'm
before
going to
you
sync
had
up.
one. Well done. Here come the test results. You are a horrible... Don't let that horrible person thing discourage you.
Melon with a little bit of a delay there to put the cube on button.
Science has now validated your congratulations.
Wonderful dual lasers by Xinera,
Most people emerge from
gaining a
suspension.
massive lead over Melon. This game is quite unforgiving, actually,
One moment.
with just the smallest of details, the smallest of mess-ups.
Navigating these test chambers faster than I
You can
could
lose
have
quite a
thought.
bit of
So
time.
feel free to slow down and do whatever it is you
Xinera
do
going for the
when you're
reportal
not
strat.
destroying this
and
Give
gets
you
it first try.
I guess you
Beautiful
are listening
presentation.
to me. But for the record, you don't have to.
Melon going for the super reportal strat.
This next test
Quite an
involves the
interesting little
science
predicament
aerial
there.
faith
Doesn't
play.
get it first nor
It was
second
part of an
try.
initiative to investigate how well test subjects could solve problems.
Xinera
when
letting
they
go
were
of the cube to
confronted
get
in
that
space.
extra bit of
Results
stop,
were
but doesn't
highly
really get that
informative.
much.
Here's an interesting
Still saves a little bit of
You're
time.
not breathing real air. It's too expensive.
Melon finally getting that super
Let's
reportal
see
going
what
on
the
to the next
test is.
chamber.
Oh, advanced aerial faith plates. Well, have fun soaring through the air without a care in the world. I have to go to the wing that was made entirely of glass.
Now we see Xinera going for the underbelly. I've seen this quite a bit from most runners nowadays, especially in these tournaments, that they prefer to go through the underbelly rather than do the aerial strafe that a lot of other runners do. Let's see what Melon's approach will be once he gets into this chamber.
Try to avoid the garbage hurtling towards you. Remember before when I was talking
Wonderful
about
presentation by
smelly garbage
Xinera.
standing around being used?
And Melon is going for the strafe, in fact.
Did you know that
We are
people
going to
with guilty
sync up
consciences are
Melon
easily
and
startled
Xinera
by loud
in a
noise?
little bit.
I'm sorry, I don't know why that went off. Anyway, just an interesting science fact. Every test chamber is equipped with an emancipation grill at its exit, so that test subjects cannot.
Let's
This
see
next
here.
test involves emancipation grills. Remember, I told you about them in the last test area that did not have one.
Xinera absolutely flying towards these maps. It looks like he's been practicing quite a bit. Melon getting that super reportal. First try. And he's got it. Normally here in the map that Xinera is in, we would do a little trick where we skip a bunch of dialogue from GLaDOS. We call it the skip. In the speedrun mod, of course, dialogue is practically non-existent, at least not in the way that we normally have it.
Look at you.
So we could just
sailing
skip
through the
that
air
section.
majestically, like
So
an
they're having a
eagle,
little bit of a problem with
piloting a
placing the
balloon.
laser there. And here we see Melon going into that exact same chamber just as he
Enjoy
leaves.
this next test. I'm going to go to the surface. It's a beautiful day out. Yesterday I saw a deer. If you solve this next test,
So now with a
maybe I'll
wonderful
let you ride an
reportal
elevator all the
for
way up to the
Ricochet.
break room.
Will he get the panel
And I'll
skip?
tell you about the time I saw a
It
deer
is
again.
looking like it. And he gets the panel fling.
Well, you passed the test. I didn't
Wonderful,
see the deer
wonderful
today.
strats being demonstrated by both runners.
These bridges are made from natural light that I pump in from the surface. If you rubbed your cheek on one, it would be like standing outside with the sun shining on your face. It would also set your hair on fire, so don't actually do it. Excellent.
Wonderful strafe by
You're a
Xinera.
predator, and these tests
Passing
are
bridge
no
intro
fair.
like it's nothing.
Good news. I figured out what to do with all the money I save recycling your one room full of air. When you die, I'm going to laminate your skeleton and pose you in the lobby. That way future generations can learn from you how not to have.
Oh, Xinera having to reset because they didn't get that reportal bounce the way they wanted.
In fact, you did so
And gets
well.
it done.
I'm going to
Melon
put this on your file.
going
In a
into
commendation.
bridge the gap as well. Normally in this
This
section,
next test
we would
involves
have to do a
turrets.
specific
You
bunny
remember
hop
them,
to
right?
skip this
They're
door.
the pale spherical
Obviously in
things that are
speedrun
full
mod,
of bullets.
that part is cut out.
That's
And Melon
only
gets it
5
first
seconds.
try, of
Good
course.
luck.
Wonderful. And Xinera going for a very peculiar strat there. Not very common among professional runners.
To maintain a
But there we are.
constant testing cycle, I simulate daylight at all hours and add adrenal vapor to your oxygen supply. So you may be confused about the passage of time. The point is, yesterday was your birthday.
Wonderful demonstration.
That jumpsuit you're wearing looks stupid. That's not me talking.
Both runners
It's
giving
right
it their
here, no
all
fun.
around these
On
pots.
other people it looks fine. But
Xinera
right
going
here,
for
scientists
the
has noted
damage
that
boost
on you
by
it
the
looks
turret. If you
stupid.
get shot by the
Well,
turret while
what
going into the
does an
portal, you
engineer
get
an
a
old
slight
engineer know
speed
about
boost.
fashion?
which allows you to bridge that gap
It's a
extremely easily,
I'm going through the list
helping
of
you finish
test
the level
subjects
a
in
lot
cryogenic
faster than
storage.
normal. Melon
I
also
managed to-
going for damage boost, gets it first try. Wonderful.
I have a surprise waiting
And
for
quite
you
an
after this next
interesting
test.
way of going about
Telling you would spoil the surprise.
avoiding the turrets
So
there.
I'll just give you a hint. It involves meeting two people you haven't seen in a long time.
Going for the safe route, Xinera is. There's a much more riskier route that is normally used in challenge mode, which is a mode in Portal 2 that you use to test yourself against your friends to see who gets the fastest time on each chamber.
Test was designed by one of Aperture's Nobel Prize
It's
winners.
slightly faster,
It doesn't say what the prize was for.
but it is a lot
Well, I
riskier.
hope it
Melon
wasn't
missing
for
one of the
anyone used
turrets,
a neurotoxin.
and a wonderful
I
pull the
bet you
rug from
think I
Xinera.
forgot about your surprise. I didn't. In fact, we're
We are just about to reach the surprise. Here,
I made it all up.
we would normally use a strat called Jerry Skip, but again, we do not have the cutscenes for this, so we can completely ignore Jerry Skip. And Xinera going for a very, very safe route. Normally other racers would have used a more of a reportal route, jumping the bridge.
You know the old formula.
Xinera going for the safe route there. Kind of surprised here.
Plus time. And you have been asleep for a while. So I guess it's actually pretty funny when you do the math.
And Xinera going for the challenge mode strat. This strat has been proven to be quite a little bit faster than the basic strat that we use in this map.
I thought about our
And it looks like Melon is
came
going
up
for a
with a
very
solution
similar
very
strat.
honestly. Federal regulations require me to warn you that this next test chamber is looking
Melon seems to be around 10 seconds
That's
behind
right.
Xinera.
The facility is
10,
completely
15 seconds
operational.
behind Xinera. Xinera with a
I've got
wonderful
a
triple
surprise
laser
for you
room.
after this next test.
And
My favorite
Xinera, we see him
fragile
going
surprise
straight
like last
into
time.
escape.
A real surprise with tragic. What's going on?
Run! I don't need to do the voice. Run!
A very wonderful portal peak right there. Very wonderful portal stand. Both Xinera and Melon known for their very, very clean bunny hops. Very clean escapes.
Come on!
If Xinera can keep this pace up,
The irony is you were almost at the last test.
this could mean very bad news for Melon. Melon now in escape as well.
Come on!
Melon approximately 7 seconds behind Xinera at this point.
What's going on in there? You're okay? Right, this way. Hurry! Go.
A very, very clean escape from both runners, in fact. Xinera going so fast that Wheatley is just being placed in the background, far away from the runner. Here we would also do another trick called flashlight skip. Oh, Melon is going for the longer route, the long shot route.
Still got work to do.
Quite interesting. That long shot route is only possible in Speedrun mod because the door at the end is already open, so there's a portal surface there. It also known as spitter skip, of course. Quite an interesting route for Melon to take. A bit risky, but with a high reward.
Of their replicas, all of them functionally indistinguishable from the originals. No memory of the incident.
Oh, Xinera not getting a good cycle. And did not get... Oh, no! Got pushed back by those arms. If Xinera was a little bit more to the left, that would have meant game over. Would have meant instant death. Has happened to a lot of runners, unfortunately. Quite annoying when it does happen. Xinera also opting not to go for any Fulbright whatsoever.
Oh, love them. Just the way they look. Great.
Here in the Portal 2 community, it is permitted to use a bright command, or an ambient light command. It's not necessarily full bright, but it is permitted in that room. And Melon, what seems to be catching up to Xinera.
Turret redemption lines are not rides. Please exit the turret redemption.
And Melon has indeed taken the lead. We're going to be changing our audio real quick. Melon has taken the lead over Xinera. Quite an interesting predicament here. It's quite interesting. Xinera going for the turret route while we see Melon going for a pancake route. In this room you can perform what's called a pancake shot. Doors like these have a very small gap where you can actually shoot a portal through to the other side, which we're actually going to see in a second here. And gets it practically first try. Melon does. Quite an interesting predicament we have going on here. Perhaps Xinera with that little strat could have gotten a little bit more time off of Melon. Might be able to catch up. Pancake strat is a little bit risky and can only save a few seconds. But Melon is still in the lead by approximately 6 seconds. Quite an amazing turn of events here. As I said, Melon was known for his expertise in the escape route. It is an amazing pace for both of them. And gets a beautiful toxin generator, while Xinera having a little bit of trouble lasering those tubes, losing quite a bit of time. And both heading into core transfer. Melon having a little bit of problems getting into that gap and getting stuck on the door. Something that I haven't seen in a run before. And SpeedGaming Dutch with the raid. Thank you so much, SpeedGaming Dutch. Hope you all had a fantastic time. Melon heading down to the underground already. Having a 8-second lead over Xinera. Wonderful presentation from both runners. Melon getting a massive recovery back in the escape route. Now here in the underground, there is quite a lot that can go right and quite a lot that can go wrong. So we better keep our hopes up for both runners. This could be interesting. Quite an interesting way to go about it. Melon does. Now this little trick here that you see being performed by Xinera. For a second you thought it was the end of the game, Coney. No, we still have quite a bit to go. Wild raid of another language. Here in the speedrunning community, all countries, all creeds, we are all a single organism dedicated to finishing games fast. Melon going for the reportal strat. Does not get it the first time. Does not get it the second time. Hard stuff, very hard stuff coming up right about now. Exactly. This reportal strat that is going on right here is quite difficult to pull off, and Melon gets it on the 5th try. While Xinera gets it on the 1st try. Quite amazing, getting quite a bit of a time save. Slowly catching up to Melon. There's quite a bit left. It can still be manageable. Will Melon go for advanced strat? It looks like he is going for a much harder strat than what is normally expected. Melon losing quite a bit of time, giving Xinera a big window to catch up. And Xinera going in for the normal route that most of us are accustomed to. Melon having quite a bit of trouble with this. And he gets it. Essentially, both are called cube clips, where you can clip yourself through the floor or through the ceiling with the cube, except the ceiling clip is quite a bit more complicated. Melon still in the lead. still in the lead by approximately 20... Nah. By approximately 15 seconds, as a matter of fact. Still quite a big room for error. Melon really has to bring his A game and not have any mistakes if he wants to keep this massive lead. Wonderful job by both runners. We are syncing up Xinera real quick. If you see Xinera's stream paused for a second, it's because we are currently doing a sync up. Melon going for the stock launch strat. Exactly. Melon, what he just did there is a little stock launch strat, which essentially gives you a massive speed boost. We're going to be seeing that stock launch again in a future map coming up called 3 Jails, which is the last map of the underground before going back to the overworld, you could say, and facing on Wheatley for the first time. Here we would do a little strat called Potato Skip, but of course, Potato Skip isn't necessary because Speedrun mod. This mod is quite useful for full game speedrunners to test out different strats and to practice for full game runs. Melon getting a wonderful reportal bound right there. Wonderful strategies being demonstrated by both runners. Here we see Xinera going in once again. And Melon going in for a stock launch strat. Not very common to be seen in these runs. Quite interesting, really. I always see Xinera going in for a natural. Melon heading over towards conversion gel intro. And Xinera is going to be doing what we call prop fling. Well, this whole map is called prop flings, but in this instance, skips the entire map by using a scroll wheel jump on blue gel. And Melon looks like is not going for lemon skip. Ha, melon skip. Not going for lemon skip this time around. Let's see if Xinera wants to pull it off. Quite a risky strat, but can lose quite a lot. Can actually save up quite a lot of time if done correctly. Lose a lot more if done poorly. And both not going for lemon skip. Both not risking it. Xinera having a bit of trouble placing that portal over there. And Melon heading on to the final part of this chamber. The elevators. Of Xinera just now getting into the conversion intro. And just having fun at this point. No lemon skip by either runners. In any case, going for a safe strat. Here we see our second instance of stock launch about to be performed by Melon in a second here. And this stock launch allows us to go all the way to the top of the map if done correctly. Shoot a portal up there. And now you're in the final part of the map. Now Melon going for tube bounce. That tube has a little bit of blue bouncy gel that you can use to hop all the way to the top without having to take the elevator. Saving quite a few seconds. And gets it first try. Melon about to get into Chapter 8. Stock launch. Definitely a sight to see here. With Xinera going also for the tube bounce. There is a recent discovery that you can do a stuck launch in that chamber. Quite difficult, I'm afraid. Melon is now officially in Chapter 8. With quite a big time save across Xinera. But it is in Chapter 8 where a lot of runs can die. So we still have yet to see if Melon will have a clean Chapter 8. Wonderful intro test so far. Quite possibly one of the easier maps in the entire run. Where essentially Wheatley asks you to solve the same map twice, thinking that will give him the test euphoria that he requires. Of course, that doesn't work. So now we're heading on to what is quite possibly one of the harder... Oh, the Frankencube trolling Xinera consistently. That's quite a bummer there. Quite a bummer. Melon performing what we call funnel fly. Quite an amazing glitch. And no, it is not no clip, despite popular opinion. Essentially, we use a faulty coding with the funnel. And by crouching, the funnel thinks we are still in the funnel state. Allowing us to fly, in a sense. Here we see Xinera performing it again from scratch. Wonderful funnel fly from both runners. And doesn't get the cube. Oh, this is bad news for Xinera. This is very, very bad news for Xinera. Could mean a run ender if he's not careful enough. Oh, this is quite unlucky, is it? Melon heading on to lose his funnel fly. Xinera has lost quite a bit of time in that chamber. It will be very hard for him to recover now. Either Melon really has to have a very big mess up, or Xinera has to absolutely bring his entire A game to even catch up. Here we see a small little trick here from Melon. That grate over there actually has a portal surface, a hidden portal surface. Using that to his advantage, goes on to the next map. Again, we are going to sync up Xinera with Melon in a second here. If you see the stream paused, because we're syncing up Xinera with Melon. Melon getting a wonderful cube catch there. Cube throw essentially is throwing the cube in a very precise way so it can land on the button and stay there, saving the time that you have to make to go and fetch the cube, get it onto the button, and then walking back to the door. And Xinera having, again, more problems with funnel fly, getting bumped down sporadically, and with a terrible, terrible save there, it seems. Xinera does seem to be choking in there, and loses the button and loses the cube again. This is bad news for Xinera, bad news indeed. Melon heading on to the next to last chamber in Chapter 8. Right before, well, the part where he kills you. Second tries the charm for Melon, getting that sweet skip there. And Melon going for the reportal strat, it seems. Quite a risky strat here, but gets it first try. The absolute legend. Now Melon hang on to the last chamber. Xinera behind by quite a lot here. Quite an interesting predicament we got going on. And here we see Melon getting into Chapter 9. Finale 1. Very close to finishing up their run. And it is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Melon now in Finale 1. Getting stuck there at the door. But will recover. Going for the B-hop strat. Quite an amazing presentation. Almost misses it. Gets it by a hair. Soon we'll see Melon recover his crouch fly. Quite an amazing presentation from both runners. As Xinera just now getting into the next to last chamber in Chapter 8. And Melon getting absolutely destroyed by the turrets. Not enough speed to avoid getting shot at. Going for the riskier route again. And Melon gets it this time. Melon hopefully going to avoid slow fly here, but gets slow fly anyways. That is quite unfortunate. No. That was kind of a bit of a hybrid right there. Slow fly with fast fly. Kind of strange if you ask me. And Melon heading on to the last level of the map. Of the game. About to face off against Wheatley, while Xinera also going for a reportal strat. Not getting it. Choking at the last second. Losing any opportunity of catching up to Melon. Oh, Xinera with a very, very bad save there. Oh, this is quite unfortunate. Xinera having to load an autosave. And Melon in the final boss. Applying a bomb save there. Not typical for speedrun mod runs. But here you have it. Wonderful demonstration. I'm about to attach the second core onto Wheatley's body. One core left. And Melon will be done. And Xinera seems to have forfeited the match. Xinera still going for the shots. And here we see Melon just about to finish the game. Maybe going for Moonshot. And gets Moonshot. Melon has time. Wonderful demonstration from Melon. Absolutely wonderful demonstration from Melon. Amazing work. Now we're going to move on to listen to Xinera's audio before we have to listen to our flute.
Surprises. Well, only 2 more chambers. Surprise! We're doing it now.
Okay, credit where it's due.
We are now awaiting instructions from the organizers. Big GG to Melon.
This is the part where I kill you.
Xinera going into finale 1,
Come back, please.
determined to finish the race.
I'm not gonna kill you, okay? Oh, just thinking back to the old times, the old days when we were friends, good old friends. Can't help but notice that you're not coming back. Oh, I've got an idea. Yeah.
Xinera absolutely determined to finish this race.
Ha! Death trap. Did something break back there? Ha! Was that your bullet, riddled bullet?
Xinera about to acquire Funnelfly once again.
Well, no matter, because I'm still holding all the cards. And guess what?
In fact, what is this?
Never actually played cards.
Quite an amazing strat being pulled off here by Xinera.
Ace of fours, the best hand.
Haven't seen that one before.
I would imagine.
Xinera using his expertise to bunny hop across the map, ignoring the fly entirely.
Crashing's too good for him. First, he'll spend a year in the incinerator. Year 2, cryogenic refrigeration wing. Then 10 years in the chamber I built where all the robots scream at you.
Xinera opting to go through this chamber without Funnelfly is quite an interesting tactic.
There you are. Great. Let me just get rid of these apple.
Still an expert demonstration of how bunny hops should be done in this amazing run.
What has he done to this place?
Using reportals to get up to the funnel, I haven't seen that in a while.
You know, I'm
Xinera pulling out CM strats, absolute amazing. Quite an interesting tactic from Xinera.
corrupted cores. We're in luck. You find a way to stun him, I'll send you a core, and then you
Xinera heading into finale 4, about to face off Wheatley,
plug me in. Look, even if you
soon to finish off the run.
enemies with a common interest. Revenge. You like revenge, right? Everybody
Getting stuck on the exit,
let's go. Get some.
not enough to get the gel activated. Xinera still determined to finish the race. You must remember that they both have a second race to go in here, giving Xinera another chance to redeem himself.
I'm delivering the first core up near the catwalk. Grab it.
Xinera about to connect the first core beautifully. Xinera opting not to go for bomb conservation.
Quick, what's the situation? Oh,
Lets go of the core in the middle of the jump
so you out having yourself
and doesn't get the core fling.
What, are you fighting that guy? You got that under control? You know, because...
Oh, this is unfortunate.
Warning. Core corruption.
As it has got it again. Ready to connect the last core in a second here.
Here's another core. This one should do it.
Hands were invented by
Going
Sam
for the
to
fast
discover
strat here.
design.
Warning.
And does that marvelously.
100%.
You have been a thorn in my side long enough.
Stalemate resolution
So
associated.
now might be going
Please
for
press the
moonshot
stalemate
here.
resolution button.
Let's see if he can pull it off. And that is time for Xinera. We got a 31.55 from Mel and a 35.39 from Xinera. Wonderful presentation from both of them. We are seeing we are going to get another match. Xinera determined to take back the throne. And getting a wonderful, wonderful, cheeky little second match here. We're going to be getting ready for the next race in series. And it is time to see who will become victor? Will Melon get a second one in a row, or will Xinera pop back? Quite an interesting predicament here. Go ahead and type in the chat, who is your favorite runner today? Who are you rooting for in this race? We're just about getting ready for round 2. Oh, that's sweet of you. Unfortunately, I'm not racing in this tournament. Probably will in the next one. But in this tournament, I'll just be in the back seat, enjoying these wonderful, wonderful races. Coney says depends on who wins. Well, we've yet to determine that, and we will find out in a moment. Xinera getting ready for the race. Melon taking a short break. Should be back shortly. We seem to have lost feed on Melon. Oh, this can't be good. And there we have it. We are back. And we are just about ready for the second match in this series. And our runners wait. Start. Melon seems to be warming up at the moment. All right, both runners ready. Now. The second match of the race is just about to begin. This is best of 3, Coney. This is indeed best of 3. If Xinera can take this match once again, we should be seeing a fantastic comeback. But if Melon takes the match, well.
Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science
my.
Enrichment Center.
Xinera having a little bit of
And emergency
trouble
testing
here.
will begin in 3, 2, 1.
Let's go ahead and sync up real quick. We're going to pause Melon for a quick second here. We seem to be having a little bit of trouble with the sync up here, with the race sync. Xinera restarting once again. What could be happening here? Quite an interesting predicament we've got going on here. Xinera seems to have restarted again. And Xinera is now in the game. We'll do one last sync up in a jiffy. That is quite possible. Anyways, Melon getting the portal gun already. Xinera getting into cube. We're again going to try to sync up Melon. We are having a slight issue with the sync up, apparently. Is this quite a predicament? Let's see here. So now we're going into smooth jazz already. Yeah, we should see a sync up if everything goes all right with the commands. And apparently not. And now both runners have been synced up successfully. Melon in the lead currently.
Hello? Hello? Excuse me? Hello?
We are now gaming. Melon going right into wake up at 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Xinera not far behind. Approximately 4 seconds behind, to be exact. Xinera getting a bit stuck on the railing. Losing about a second there, and getting stuck on the tube as well. Melon getting it to the incinerator. Melon not losing the portal peak, but recovering quite nicely there. Wonderful portal peaks by Xinera could probably catch up. Still, the margin for error is currently very low for both runners. Well, at 4 minutes getting into laser stare. Gets a wonderful shot there. And moves on to the next chamber with barely any time to spare. Meanwhile, Xinera just now getting into laser stares. A wonderful dual lasers from Melon. Dual lasers works by taking advantage of an exploit in the game, where the game thinks you're activating both lasers at the same time in a single tick. And by being up near the door opens up practically for free. Melon getting the super reportal on the first attempt. This is looking very good for Melon. Xinera still quite a ways to catch up though. Approximately one chamber behind. And gets the reportal, moves on to the next chamber for Xinera. Melon not getting the cube stop. That was Xinera also not getting the cube stop. Melon again going for the strafe, I believe. And that is correct, going for the strafe. Wonderful presentation. Little bit risky to pull off, but can save quite a bit of time over going from under the platforms. It was Xinera going from under. Saves a fraction of a second, but in runs like these, every second counts. Melon with a wonderful super reportal first try, up to the top, moving on to the next chamber. Xinera behind by a chamber and a half, getting into pit flames as well. Wonderful super reportal. Oh, but misses by a fraction. Going to try to get a recovery reportal here. Quite difficult to pull off. Visible frustration by the runner, but gets it anyway. Wonderful job. Melon going for a safer strat, it would seem. Quite interesting to see what strats each runner applies for each chamber. With 7 minutes on the clock, Xinera gets to ceiling catapult, while Melon is now in ricochet. Will Melon get the panel fling? And gets it beautifully. Wonderful presentation. And Xinera just now finishing ceiling catapult. This is not a replay. This is currently happening live. Both runners facing off in this Portal 2 Speedrun Mod tournament. A wonderful bridge intro from Melon. And gets the door first try through the wall clip. Wonderful job. Xinera approximately one map behind. Melon really does have a wonderful knack of getting these tricks that seem to be quite difficult on the first try. Quite an outstanding performance so far. Xinera getting in to bridge the gap as we speak. Wonderful demonstration of turret intro from Melon so far. Misses the cube drop. And that's the strats we like to see. Xinera not pulling off the reportal. Quite a worrying predicament from Xinera. Oh, third time's the charm. Xinera not able to get the cube reportal for some reason. We see Melon going straight into the turret blocker with that wonderful CM strat right there. Quite interesting. And Xinera missing the jump by an inch. Quite unfortunate. Oh, this is not looking good for Xinera at all. Bridge the gap do be like that sometimes. Indeed. Ah, Xinera stuck in Bridge the Gap. This is terrible for him. Melon just getting through laser versus turret. This is quite tragic to see. And with the bad save as well. And Xinera finally gets it, moving on to the next chamber, and the cube falls off the button. This is quite tragic, I'm afraid. Melon and Column Blocker not getting the reportal that he's looking for. And there it is. Gets rid of the turret, goes on to the next chamber. We are going to do a very quick sync up for Melon. Oh my. It looks like there's been a slight... There might have been a slight glitch in the sync up. Quite interesting, really. Currently identifying the problem. Melon not getting what he is looking for. And we are now in the escape. Oh. Xinera expressing comments of regret. We might have a forfeit here. Can we give some love in the chat for Xinera? And I believe Xinera has actually forfeited the match. Oh, this is quite unfortunate. This is quite unfortunate to see. But again, let's give Xinera all the love in the world. And there we have it. Melon's still on a good pace. We're going to let Melon finish off the run. And Melon getting into turret sabotage in a second here. Possibly going for another pancake shot.
Target acquired.
Come on. Yeah, what am I?
Yep, Melon is definitely going for the pancake shot at this moment.
This is just
And how can he get it first? Can he get it first try? Of course he can. The cake is in your heart. Melon now using an expert use of bunny hops. A wonderful use of bunny hops. And is now heading on to neurotoxin sabotage. Quite a wonderful presentation from both runners. Now we'll see Melon finish up his run. Having a little bit of trouble with those upward panels, but gets it beautifully. Pristine position from Melon. Melon going into core transfer with quite a good pace. Doesn't get the hop over the panels, but still a very, very nice pace indeed. Melon now in the underground. Wonderful portal placements and peaks. Actually barely got the button press right on time. Now heading for a mountain shot. Very tricky shot right here, but can save a lot more time than going for the elevator skip. However, in the speedrun mod, it saves around the same amount of time. Melon going for a reportal, doesn't quite get it, and that's the moneymaker right there. Hopping on the rails like an absolute unit. Takes it in. Heading into Blue Gel intro. Quite a good time at the moment. Gets a wonderful button glitch right there. And is now going for the advanced cube clip. Quite interesting. Quite an advanced technique here. And he's done it. Going for a safer route. Quite interesting, really. That cube clip is a lot more complicated than people think, yet Melon can still get it and have time to spare. Using another advantage of portal peaks. Skip an entire segment. Wonderful use of momentum. And he's got it. Melon again going for stock launch. Quite a difficult trick to perform. However, we'll get it. Possibly first try. It is looking like it. First try stock launch for Melon. Quite an outstanding matchup. Man, expertly navigating potatoes. Melon going for safe strats here. Wonderfully done. Heading on to propulsion gel intro. Will he go for the reportal again? And he will, and gets it fantastically. And Melon again going for a stock launch. Once more, for a super reportal, sorry. Getting my terminology confused. Wonderfully executed. Here we see Melon getting into conversion intro. Not going for the lemon skip, wants to play it safe. Lemon skip is quite a technical and extremely difficult trick to pull off. Quite a safe strat here. And gets the reportal first try. Absolute unit. Getting a bit stuck with the doors there, having a little bit of trouble. And absolutely aces. Conversion gel intro. Wonderful performance here. Again, the second instance of stock launch in this series, in the run. Quite a useful stock launch, really. Gets the shot. But actually does not get the shot. Oh, that is terrible. This time gets the portal shot, I believe. And he's got it. Going for the tube bounce. And gets it first try. Absolute unit, Melon is. Quite an adversary to anyone competing against him. And just breezing through the introduction to Chapter 8. No problems and no worries. Gets the cube throw. Has had quite a bit of time to practice these strats, practice these moves. Has been working tirelessly to perfect for this tournament. Wonderfully done as well. And Melon moves on into funnel intro, but we see him perform what is subjectively my favorite glitch in the entire game, the funnel fly. Quite an interesting glitch here, and Melon performs it outstandingly. Absolutely beautiful. An amazing performance by both runners, of course. And Melon gets the chamber without any problem whatsoever. Moving on to this chamber, which is quite notorious. Going for the fast strap. Of course, this is Speedrun mod, so you can do that. In normal matchups, that isn't necessarily plausible. It is much easier to just fly over. A very, very quick fly cancel right there. Extremely agile. We might be seeing a sub 32 this time. If everything goes well here, of course. Still needs to be quite a bit more careful with Chapter 6, specifically in Bounce Gel introduction. Wonderful demonstration of cube stop. Beautiful. Gets the reportal just in case, and moves on to the next map. Melon about to recover funnel fly in a second here. And seamlessly gets it. Going on to the next chamber with quite a pristine and clean fly into the door. Gets a bit bucked there, recovers with the door. And is he going to get it? Of course he is. Wonderful hops demonstrated by Melon. Melon notoriously known for the bunny hops. Falls off from the setup. And the second tries a charm. Quite an interesting strategy to pull off there. Only plausible in Speedrun mod. In full game, you do have to get a little bit of a crouch fly. Much more accurate strategy right there. And has achieved fly once again. And it's now going into finale. Straight into chapter 9. And it's now about to face off against Wheatley himself. Very great consistency there. Almost falls off of the railing. Manages to catch himself in the process. A bit too much momentum there could have meant a disastrous time loss. And gets the fling as well. Now heading on into finale 2. We should see Melon recover Crouch Fly. And does it magnificently. Without a single problem in the world. Pulling off safe strats, it seems. Going through the safer route this time around. And he's done it. Going right on to finale 3. Expert usage of portals. Remember, if you place a portal wrong in that specific area, that could mean a general time loss and a restart of the map, because you regain your fly. It's a lot slower. Man with the fast fly heading on to finale 4, just about to finish the run. We may be looking at a sub 35 here. And then going in to face Wheatley one last time. Let's take home today's victory in this series for the Speedrun Mob tournament. Goes again for yet another bomb conservation. Quite interesting, it's not common to see bomb conservation being done in Speedrun mod. Extremely common for it to be done in full game runs. However, it is expertly done by Melon. This lineup, wonderfully executed. Gets flung to the other side of the map. Having a little bit of lag here. Oh, we're getting a little bit of lag on Melon's feed. Oh my. And we seem to be A-okay right now. Getting that core must have fixed it. And now, ready for the final moonshot to finish up the run. And it is done. Fantastic presentation from both participants. And now we shall invite both runners in for a post-game interview to have their thoughts. A fantastic matchup indeed from both of them. Melon finishing up with a 32-27. Wonderful performance from both of them. Can we get some GGs in the chat?
Hello.
Hello, Melon. How you doing? How are you
I'm
feeling?
doing good. I'm feeling good. I noticed that Xinera did not finish, so
Indeed, Xinera did decide to forfeit after a little slip up in Chapter 4 in the second matchup. But still, an amazing performance from both of you. Xinera went to the call.
hi Xinera.
Wait, what'd you say? Sorry, your mic cut out.
How are you feeling right now?
I mean, kind of just tired that the first run didn't go as planned. I don't know.
Yeah, we were apparently.
Yeah.
It looked like you were 10 seconds behind out of core, and I had a pretty bad chapter 6. So.
Yeah.
There was
Someone
a
said I
point where
was on
both of you
par
were
after
actually neck
chapter
and
6.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it went pretty well up until like Crazy Box, and then I don't know how I messed that up, and then I. So
Did you do?
yeah.
Do you do suck launch?
No, I just messed up the end fling.
Oh
thing.
yeah. If
I
you
don't
don't
know why. I just
Well, if you
stressed
don't-
it, so
that's something that if you don't do for a long time, you can kind of just forget how to do
Yeah.
it. I don't know why. But yeah, no, we were apparently really close.
yeah.
You were on pace. You were on like good pace too. Because if
Yeah.
you continue that, you're probably 31.
Yeah.
Like if you're
And that's like I skipped
whatever.
the 32 then, because my
That'd be
PB is
sick.
33. Yeah, it would have been nice, but yeah.
It was
And
quite a
I didn't
good
notice.
matchup from both of you.
Yeah, I didn't know that you forfeit in the second race, and I was playing way worse in
Yeah.
the second race, so I was nervous.
Yeah. I was like plus 20 after Portal Gun. No, not Portal Gun. Like chapter 1. So I was like,
yeah,
because I was kind of mad at the first race still, or not mad, but yeah.
yeah, you know, just
Um,
kind of checked out.
Yeah. And then I like just kind of struggled with stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, it happens.
Bridge
Good
the
games
gap
regardless.
is especially, yeah.
Oh, bridge the gap. Yeah.
But that was just because I was already plus 50 by then, so like I was
That's
already.
1+. I don't run with splits, so in races I never like
Yeah.
really know how far behind I am. I'll know if I'm
Yeah.
like behind or ahead usually, but never by how much.
Yeah.
So I won't get tilted by like being plus 50 out or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just get mad because I'm playing poorly or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we got to do the race at least.
Yeah, because I probably wouldn't have been able to, or would have.
Yeah.
I probably
I
can't
don't-
play for like the next week, at least on a computer that can stream. So.
Yeah.
And it was indeed a fantastic race from both of you. Again, congratulations to the both of you. Melon, congratulations on passing on to the next round. And
Do you know who I
everybody
play?
Alice, maybe. I think it's Alice
I
versus
know it's
Lathos.
Alice versus. Oh, it's. I hope I play Lathol. I love Lathol.
And everybody,
No.
stay tuned. We got a lot more speed gaming to come through. If you enjoyed the race, please go ahead and give the races a lot of love in their respective Twitch channels. And stay tuned for the next match in the Portal 2 Speedrun Tournament. We're having this Saturday, and it will be a match of the century. We have Can't Even versus M Sushi at 1 p.m. PDT.
M Sushi wins that easily. It's not even close.
It's cold here.
Let's go M Sushi. That's my man. Okay.
Again,
Either
thank
way.
you everybody for joining, and we hope you enjoyed this series. Any last words, runners?
Not really. GG.
No. Alice, you're next.
Ooh.
I believe in
everybody.
Lathos.
Lapo, you're next too. I don't care.
Yeah.
Good game.
Good game. Bye.
We will see you all
Peace.
next time. Goodbye.